Welcome back to the breakdown. I am DELACREMEDELA, your privileged host, and this is another episode of the Breakdown Show. Y'all, I went down the rabbit hole so you don't have to. I know you like it when I do that. Listen, I went down the Billy Porter rabbit hole so you don't have to. I had a little itch on my elbow that needed to know what other music he's done. Like, how did he get to where we see him now? I kind of like to understand the origin story, especially coming from a person whose parents were record company owners and told me about artist development and how artists were kept in the shadows for years before they were ever introduced to the public. I'm wondering where Billy Porter came from. So I did a little search and I ended up back down memory lane. I want to let you know what I'm talking about, but first, let me give you the house rules, just in case you're new to the breakdown. First rule, house rule number 1 is, this is not a no judgment zone, okay? Yes, that's right. House rule number 2, this ain't for kids, because it might get a little nasty. Listen, we gonna go back down memory lane, and I know I'm not the only person that's about to go back down memory lane with a little bit of shock and awe. Because when I went back down memory lane, I was like, wait a minute, that's Billy Porter? Now, if I play this song at any cookout, at any skating rink, at any family function, we all gonna get down. But did we know that this was Billy Porter? Let's get into it. That's Billy Porter. What? I remember that guy. I used to idolize his vocals. When I tell you that man could sing, he could sing his face off. And I can't even play all of it because I can't. No matter how much I scream fair use, I just can't. But I enjoyed going back down memory lane. And I'm trying to figure out for the life of me, because Billy Porter's name just came up again at the Grammys, not just for breathing all in that girl's face, talking about some fuck, but also because it is. Now, you and I might disagree on a lot of things, but we definitely agree that was some hooting and hollering. And the Billy Porter of then, vocally and aesthetically, is definitely not the Billy Porter of now. So I was trying to figure some things out, and as I did a little walk down memory lane, I took a couple notes and I came to some conclusions. Now, let me just say, this is all my opinion. This is all just my observation. This is all for entertainment purposes, okay? If your feelings are hurt, put on some bigger shoes. But I'm going to tell you what I think is the case. Because I'm wondering why Billy Porter then reminded me of a great singer, of a vocalist. He was really a master at his craft. But, you know, as much as that is appreciated, why does the Billy Porter that we see today seem to have neglected himself? What happened to Billy Porter? And why does he seem more like a caricature than an artist? Why does he remind me so much of not Beyonce, she must be talking about me, of Nicki Minaj, of that same era? Why does he remind me of, remember when Nicki Minaj first came out and she was pink hair, you know, all the stuff that was a caricature? And we didn't even see her real hair until she was well into her career. Well, I got some ideas about that. Because it isn't a mystery and it isn't random. I believe this is trajectory shaped by industry incentives, identity commodification, and artistic neglect. Now, I'm going to break it down very cleanly with no fluff, because that's what I do. Number one, I don't believe he evolved musically. I believe that Billy Porter abandoned the craft, and we can hear it in his vocals. Because early Billy Porter was a trained vocalist, gospel-rooted, R&B phrasing, breath control, resonance. He sang from the body, not the persona. And I believe at some point the voice stopped being the priority. Less vocal conditioning, more talk singing, more shouting, more stylized affectation. Performances driven by concept instead of sound. And when vocal maintenance stops, those of us who know the instrument is going to degrade. Period. No ideology is going to override physiology. I also believe that the Broadway success rewired the reward system. You remember Kinky Boots? That was pivotal, but not just artistically. It taught him this. The industry rewards spectacle over subtle mastery. Now, from that moment on, emotion became exaggerated. Fuck her. Expression became theatrical instead of musical. Performance shifted from listening worthy to headline worthy. And that's what we're seeing now. See, Broadway can sharpen technique or replace it with gesture. He chose the latter. I also believe that fashion became the message, not the accent. Clothes used to support him as an artist. Then fashion became the entire conversation. When outfits are louder than work and red carpets replace rehearsal rooms, shock value replaces refinement. Because I'm looking at that recent performance and I'm like, he doesn't seem rehearsed. This seems like some after church shenanigans. This seems like some playing in your mama's closet shenanigans. This doesn't seem like a well-crafted performance. See, when all that happens, you get costume without coherence, a silhouette without soul. Look in his eyes here. Where'd he go? That's why all of this reads to me as caricature. Not because of gender expression, but because there's really no grounding aesthetic discipline. Iconic and intentional are not the same thing as extravagant and chaotic. I also believe that identity became monetized and froze him in this role. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Once Hollywood decides what you represent, it locks you in there. Billy Porter stopped being a gifted vocalist and actor who happens to be queer. He became instead a symbol that must perform queerness loudly, flamboyantly, constantly, and visually. He is the caricature of the flaming queer. That pressure narrows an artist. Subtlety becomes risky. Restraint becomes betrayal. Returning to softness can feel like regression. So I believe he leaned harder into the mask. Because even when expression isn't integrated, and especially when expression isn't integrated, it fractures. True artistry integrates voice, body, aesthetic, and emotional truth. What we're seeing now, this is fragmentation. Costumes are disconnected from sound, message is disconnected from musicality, and persona is disconnected from pleasure. That's why it feels strained, forced, overworked. Now here's the bottom line, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it because this is not a no judgment zone. Billy Porter didn't lose talent, in my opinion. He stopped centering it. He traded vocal excellence for visibility and musical intimacy for spectacle, mastery for messaging. And the audiences can feel that trade-off instinctively. Now, you know I deal with the universal laws, and on our YouTube channel and our Patreon, DELA the Demon Whisperer, after we finish our Divine Law Academy, we'll start working on breaking down the universal laws. But recently, if you remember last summer, we talked about the law of compensation. Well, this is the law of compensation in action. What you stop nourishing stops growing. Talent unattended becomes decoration. Now, if he ever returns to quiet vocal discipline, clothes that serve instead of scream, and performances rooted in pleasure, not provocation, I believe you'd see a resurgence instantly. Until then, what you're clocking isn't judgment, because I know it isn't for me. It's discernment. And you're always right to trust it. But for now, That's all I got. Whew, I feel so sad for him. But I hope he comes back soon because I miss that Billy Porter. Ain't got no more. But I know you do, Billy. Come back, Billy.